there, and welcome back to Campus Rhythm with me, your host, Damika Herbert. Now, first of all, I want to thank you for your support on Instagram. I want to thank you for your support on Facebook. Your support and suggestions are unmatched. Honestly, I didn't think that the support that I would have gotten would have been so good, seeing that we now started. And you guys are inspiring me to bring content, like real hard-hitting content and advice. So this episode was actually a suggestion that I had like more than once, which is talk about freshman do's and don'ts. Talk about how do we maneuver freshman year and how do we get through it. But this advice about surviving freshman year is not relative to just simply freshman year. There are people who are in their junior year, in their sophomore year, even in their senior year, who still have freshman tendencies. They keep missing classes, they keep doing stupid stuff, and I want to talk to you about how you survive freshman year and university by extension. So I'm going to give you the 5 ways in which people fail their freshman year. And I'm going to list them out for you, right? So we have the first one, a lack of preparation. We have the second one, spotty class attendance. The third one, poor and or inadequate study habits. We have the fourth one, less than ideal time management skills. And we have the fifth one, you just generally unsettle. And all of those things come together and they produce a freshman failure. And if not a freshman failure, then just a university failure by extension. Now, tied into all of this is something that, big boys in the whole university game like to call the retention rate of freshmen. Now, I'm going to explain what the freshman retention rate is and the importance of it, and understanding that will help you make links between the do's and the don'ts and see how you can fall into the percentage that do not fall out of the university life and the walk and the whole thing itself, right? So the freshman retention rate can be defined as the number of students that come back in their sophomore year. Also, knowing retention rates can be an indication of how happy students are or how well the university personnel are supporting struggling students. Those are the two, it's like an umbrella. Those are the 2 overarching reasons why people drop out. But falling underneath that, there are more specificities that fall in the yard and in the garden of the freshman himself. So the 5 reasons I gave you are underneath the umbrella of why the freshman retention rate is how it is. So because of, for example, a lack of support from staff and faculty, then after that you will see a lack of preparation. They're not able to identify certain things, or even spotty class attendance. Sometimes not having support from your faculty and staff can cause you to stop coming to class altogether. I started coming to class in my freshman year because my lecturer literally found me and told me to come to her class. Now, imagine if she didn't care. Imagine if she didn't. I probably would not have shown up to her class. There's a good chance I wouldn't have. Now, I don't want there to be any type of ambiguity concerning what I am talking about when I say any of these things that contribute to why people fall out and just completely mess up their freshman year. So I'm going to go in and I'm going to explain each one, but not in too much depth, just enough so that you get the picture that I'm trying to create for you. So the first one I said was a lack of preparation. Now, a lack of preparation for university life can be extremely detrimental because your only reference is secondary school, it's high school. And students who did Form 6 are more likely to fare better in their first year than those who don't do Form 6. But that doesn't mean that they will fare better. They're just more likely to fare better because they had an experience with stress. Form 6 does that to you. The workload and the length of time that you have to complete it in contributes to the amount of stress that you were able to experience and overcome in a short space of time. University is not like that. It's kind of like a crucifixion. It's a slow, agonizing, prolonged death. But at the end of it all, you hope to rise again in glory. You really hope to. I mean, it gets some people, it doesn't get some people, but you don't want to be the one that got God. And that's where the whole preparation for university life comes into play. Now, seeing that you have, let's say you did Form 6, seeing that you have, you've been acquainted with stress, understand that that reference that you have from high school is not going to be the be-all, end-all. It doesn't make you a guru in terms of how you're supposed to go about doing university, and it doesn't make you the most able or the most capable person to succeed in university, because bet your bottom dollar, the person who came straight out of Form 5 will fight up in their first year, maybe even fail some classes, but they will pick back up, they'll catch up, and they'll learn lessons that you might have taken for granted. So understand that university is a completely different ballgame, and they have their own set of demands. Now, we also have poor attendance. Poor attendance is the best way to fail a class, because the best way to fail a class is to consistently miss said class. If you're not there, you literally cannot pass it. In classes, if you don't know how classes function, there are pop quizzes. You have tests. You even have hints around final exam time. Lecturers like to give you hints as to what's coming in their final. So show up for class. Be present. I'm not just saying sit down in the desk and write down on the gate form that, yeah, I'm present. I want you to be present. Be there. Soak up the moment and ask questions. Take in every single bit of it and give yourself a fighting chance in the whole grand scheme of things. The third point that I have is inadequate study habits. What do I mean when I say the word inadequate? Now, what I mean when I say the word inadequate is just what you have that you call study habits is just simply not enough. And it is not what is required for university. It might have worked in secondary school. Cramming before a test the night before might have worked in secondary school. Doing your assignment the morning of the assignment due date might have worked in secondary school, but I am telling you, in university, that does not work, because you will produce the most shoddy work that you have ever produced if you do it rushed the night before, or if it is you wait until the morning of the due date to do your assignment. So note that very, very well. It's not going to work. I'm telling you that from right now. And if it is you want to see your grades tank, you can personally go on a journey to tank your grades by doing exactly what I said not to do. Do not have bad study habits. Also, the fourth one we have is poor time management skills. Now, some students spend too much time playing games, video games. Some people spend too much time watching TV. Netflix is the devil's drug. Forget Netflix. And also, some people spend too much time just simply hanging out. We have people that don't prioritize well. They don't put their life into compartments, and seeing that they can't put their life into compartments, they manifest poor time management skills. Or sometimes they just simply have poor time management skills and they need the help and they need the guidance to work it out. Know yourself. You need to know yourself. If you're somebody who can't balance, then there are courses that will help you. If you are somebody who can't compartmentalize, then talk to your lecturer. Ask them for help to put things in the place that they need to be in. Poor planning, I'm going to repeat, poor planning can lead to deficient performance in your homework, in your papers, and in your projects. Poor planning, meaning that your assignment is due next month on a particular date, and you decide the week of to do it. Poor planning does not reap results. And the last one that I believe should generally fall in a freshman's yard, this one isn't overgeneralized, but this one will, which is just generally being unsettled. Now, some people are just naturally pragmatic. And when I say pragmatic, they're not necessarily theory type people. They're not people who could sit down in a classroom and take notes and just simply focus. But these are people who need to put their hands to something, people who need to be practical, who need to go outside and do something. And not everybody is a sit-in-class type of person. A lot of these people end up enrolling in universities and in different schools, and they're just not mature enough, or they're just not inclined that way. Some people's skill set is not in line with what is required where university life is concerned. It's just not there. It's not with it, and you can't blame them for that. So you need to know yourself. If it is you're immature and you're not in a place yet where you can handle what university life will require of you, then give yourself a chance Sit with yourself. Don't play yourself. And some people are also unsettled because they don't even want to be here. There are some freshmen that come into school, not even this school, but just schools on a whole, just because their parents made them. I'm one of those people. The reason why I failed my freshman year, I'm not even going to front, I failed my freshman year. I got 2 Fs and a C. I think I got like a D or something like that. Yeah, me dog. I got like Fs and Cs and a D. But the reason why I failed my freshman year is because I didn't want to be here in the first place. My mother made me come here. I'm not even joking. Some people say, my mother make me do. No, seriously, my mother made me do it. We were driving in the area day, and I remember we were riding by the school. My mom was like, hey, I heard they were having like a type of orientation here, and I know you don't really want to like finish our Form 6, so let's see what they have to offer. Okay, I came up in this campus, went on the second day of orientation. I sat down, and I knew that I wanted to be out of Form 6, but I didn't know exactly what I wanted to do. Now, when I chose my major, I chose to be a history major at first. I really thought that I wanted to do history and pursue it, but then after that, I ended up, talking to a business lecturer, and she ended up telling me that, you should probably do marketing since you're creative. And I also was thinking to do English, either history or English, because I like to write and I like stories that once happened. So she was telling me, so since you like to create and you like a good story, why don't you do marketing? So that's why now I'm a marketing major. But at first, in the first year, I said, okay, fine, I'll do it. But when I got into the swing of university life and I realized that, nobody's gonna come and tell me to come to class. There's no me having to be anywhere. Like, I literally didn't have to be anywhere that I was supposed to be, because now I'm on my own. There's no teacher who's gonna hound me down. There's nobody to guide me into my classroom. There's no assembly. There's no assimilation. And the fact that there was no assimilation for a mind that was not yet ready for that type of freedom is a very detrimental thing, because I started to miss classes to lie with friends, to go and do deviant activity, all kinds of stuff. And I didn't thrive in my first year, but thank God that L that I took in my first year was just enough for me to buck up. It was the rain check that I need. And some people need to fail so that they can pass. Now I'm an honor student, but at that point in time, I needed that failure, because that failure was so necessary for me to see exactly what I wanted and see exactly what I don't want to feel like and see the place that I don't want to be in. It doesn't feel good when they have honors convocation, for example, and you see your friends going up and they're receiving these tassels, or like kind of like tassel type things, and you're seeing them going up, you're seeing them receiving something, you're seeing their parents being proud of them, but you're not a part of that. Your parent is not proud of you. You're not even proud of you. And you're kind of balancing between a place of self-loathing and convincing yourself that you don't care. Nobody wants to be that guy. No self-loving person wants to be that guy. And that's the reason why I'm giving you the ways in which you can survive freshman year and university by extension. I'm not just going to tell you all the things that, make people fail and then not tell you how to succeed. So I compiled a list of ways that you can succeed, and I want you to take note of it. I don't know if you have a pen and paper. If this is the first thing that you write in your notebook before the semester starts, this will be good. So I'm going to say this, right? First things first, attend orientation. Orientation is so important because what studies show is that orientation helps get freshmen into a certain state of mind where they want to become familiar with the environment around them. It helps them become familiar with the campus, and it also alleviates the ever-blessed, the I am lost, I can't find my class scenario. You don't ever want to be that guy. You don't want to be that girl who can't find her class, and you end up missing your class on the first day or walking in awkwardly late to your first class for the semester. So orientation is your BFF. Though boring, though long, though very wordy, it is your best friend. Also, we have campus resources. Now, people come every single day and they offer resources. We have healthcare across the street. We have libraries. We have labs. We have all kinds of services that people can utilize, even the advisors are not outside of one of the services and one of the resources that the university offers. And not only our university, but this is for anybody who is attending university for the first time. Look around and find out what resources that the campus has available. The next point is, I want you to register for classes immediately. There's no other way I can say that word that can truly give you a gist of what I'm trying to show you, but I need you to do it right now. You need to jump on those classes that you want, because if you don't, then the classes will fill. And if they fill and you're not in it, there's a good chance you're not going to get in it until either the next semester or 2 semesters after that. And you don't want to be that person that is held back in their final year because they didn't get a course that they should have gotten in their first year. What I want you to do and what I want to see for you is success. I want to see you being at the front. I want to see you go getting and get everything that you need to get to succeed in university. What I also want you to go and get is a planner. Whether it's paper, whether it's an organizer, whether it's electronic, I need you to get a planner, because when you start to go through this school term and you see all the activities that are being held, you see all of the different functions, you see the due dates for your assignments, you see all the events that they want you to be at, you need to get a planner so that nothing clashes and so that you have a clear visual of what you need to be at when and how you need to plan your assignments to be present at all the events, and give your full 100. I don't want you to just be a person who is good at beating books. This is not what we're about. I want you to be holistic. Get involved in something. Get involved in a club. Even the planner will help you show, okay, well, ISW is coming up in this week, so what I need to do is get my assignments that are due this week done the week before so that I can contribute to my country club and, make them proud. Things like that is what I need you to do. Keep track of your assignments and keep track of your events. I need you to also develop a note-taking strategy. Now, as a business student, one thing that is integral to our success is knowing how to take a good note. You need to record or write down anything, everything that you think is relevant, but take notes. I'm not even talking about just as the semester goes into itself. I'm talking about from the first day of class. I want you to take notes about what is going on in that classroom and keep it in a safe space. Because there's a good chance that on the first day of class, that lecturer is going to look at you in your face and they're going to say, okay, well, we have a final exam on this date. We have a mid-semester on this date. We have a group project on this date, and I want to get this by this date. And they mightn't tell you all the little assignments in between, but they tell you the dates of the major ones. You get that on the first day, and a lot of mistakes that freshmen make is not taking down those major dates. Also, another mistake that they make is not taking down the emails that are generally provided at the beginning of the semester of your lecturer, and they don't take down the phone numbers or the office hours. Office hours are like a golden egg. Hold it, cherish it, protect it. Know that if you have a question, if you have a comment, if you just need somebody to say something again because you didn't catch it in class, office hours are your best friend. Go in that office like you own the place and go and tell them what you need. Go and tell them what you want, because these people are here to serve, and the school motto is excellence. So they're going to serve you with said excellence, especially if you come in an excellent, a little excellent mood, they're going to give you some excellent feedback. The next one is, do your assignments early, please. I said this before, but this one actually needs to be said one more time. Procrastination will not help you here. It might have helped you over there or over there, but not here. Procrastination has no place here. I mean, you could bring it and try to make room for it, but you're going to have to move it out, or you're going to have to move out of this school and any institution that you go to. Procrastination is not your friend. You will be amazed how long one assignment can take when you procrastinated. Because if you procrastinate, that means you didn't do any study for it. That means you didn't talk to any of your peers about it. That means that you didn't even get your mind acquainted with the topic. So you're not ready for it. And then when you're going to sit down now, the night before, 2 nights before, to try to fudge it, then what? What do you expect to get? I need you to do your assignments early. Second to last one is get to know your teachers. Now, if you know your teachers, You know in their office hours, you know their emails, you know the car they drive because you can mark it. What you need to do is know them so that they can be lenient towards you. Lecturers are more inclined to be lenient toward you if they're familiar with you. Now, there's some lecturers that are straight up just nice. So they give you mercy regardless if they know you or not. But there's some lecturers, like any school, any human being, there's some people who are more lenient to people that they are familiar with. Even if you are an introvert, there's a way in which you can get acquainted with your lecturer, even being an introvert. Because some people might think, oh, well, I'm not the kind to go and talk to anybody. Let me help you with that. All you need to do as an introvert is just say, hi, good afternoon, or straight up, just wave. You don't even need to talk. Just wave the lecturer. Put on your best smile and just wave, and just know there's going to come a day when you need an extension. Introvert, extrovert, there's going to come a day you're going to need an extension. And regardless of creed and race, you're going to have to walk into that office during the office hours, and you're going to have to humble yourself and ask, hey, can I please get an extension? And once they know you and they're acquainted with you, they're more willing to give you grace and mercy and all the other things that are affiliated, well, at least that are said to be affiliated with the University of the Southern Caribbean. I can't account for all lecturers, but I know that mine are more willing to give me extensions because they're more familiar with me. And the last one that, though it might sound like a cliche, it's actually one of the single most important ones. I think I could actually put it on the most important one. And that is believe in yourself. Believe in yourself. And if you believe in God, believe in Him. Trust in the Lord with all your heart. Trust in Him. And I'm telling you, He will make a way where there seems to be no way. He will get you through it. The scripture talks about the fact that the Lord is your joy. The Lord is your resting place. The Lord is your solace. Take comfort in that fact that if you believe in God, that you have the Alpha and Omega. You have the power source of all power sources, and He is a good Father. And fathers comfort. They help guide you. And throughout this university experience, don't ever neglect the fact, and don't ever put it out of your thoughts that you have a Heavenly Father that wants the best for you. So what is a little trouble with a computer science class? What's a little trouble with a business class? What's a little trouble when you have God? So believe in the Lord, believe in yourself, and I honestly think you'll make it pretty far. I can't see how you could mess this up. I just laid it out for you, you know? So this is Campus Rhythm with your host, Damika Herbert. And I want to thank you so much for being here. I'll see you guys next week.